I'm kind of trying to get like the cheesiest little organ sound that I can get because I got a little story. It's very brief, but I think you'll like it. In my hometown, growing up, I was born in '61, late '61. When I was a little kid, we would get carnivals through town, and one of my a really good memory was being on the Ferris wheel with my dad, and we were on what was the Bloomfield high school football field in the back of the school, and I remember going up with my dad, and as we were coming down, we stopped and we're looking out, and he goes, "Look, Sammy, there's Tony. Look, there's Tony." And I looked out, and it was Tony and her best friend Ava. And I'll never forget. It was cold. I don't know. It was not a summer thing. It was cold because she had on a red, I guess we called it a riding hood. I don't know, but it was like a little hood that was knitted, and it was red. It went up in a point. It was very cute, almost like something Munchkin would wear. And then it had like 3 pearl buttons down here, and it was like a little cape with a hood on. I don't know, but she was wearing that. She was Thiva Webb. So these things look. Now, that carnival came through. I am guessing. I want to say 65 because I do remember that. It's an early thing. But here's what I also remember. That carnival came to town, and they had this mean-ass little bulldog. A real mean, snarly, little mean bulldog. And they left it. I guess they let it out to pee and took off. I don't know. They left it. So it was a little town dog, and it was going around causing trouble. It wasn't. It bless its little heart. It got abandoned by the creepy carnies. Anyway, no, I don't mean your name Carney. I mean they call them carnies, Carnies, right? If they work for Carnival. So, I do remember that my sister Tony, one of her favorite teachers was Miss Motley. Sweet Miss Motley. God, I loved her too. She was never my teacher, but she was a teacher while I was there, and she was always extremely kind to me. Well, she had an affection for little mean-ass dogs. And she told Tony, "Have your daddy bring that baby to me. I would love to have a little mean-ass bulldog." And so we did. I remember being in the car when we took the mean dog and turned her over to Miss Motley, who was sweet as can be, just sweet as can be. That bulldog supposedly sired a little dog that was born feral, named Bulldog. That was then after that bulldog was gone, then little bulldog showed up, and I want to say little bulldog showed up about 1971, so it wasn't too far. As an adult dog, I don't know. They said that old bulldog sired him, was his father. But anyway, neither here nor there. So what I'm going for is like these little carnies and circus. The circus came to our town 2 or 3 times during my childhood, and it was a dirty little circus. It was just like a seedy little dirty little circus where the people were dirty. They had dirty feet, and the tent was like saggy. And anyway, they did have an elephant. Now, I say this was also in pretty cold weather because I have such a fresh and vivid memory. They marched this gorgeous elephant out, and it was. I don't think they were going to do anything except look at our elephant. I don't think they did any tricks or anything, but they brought the elephant out. And then he proceeded to make the largest steamy dump you ever saw. He dropped like a 5-gallon lard can full of his innards right there in the middle of the circus. And honey, steam was rising off of it. It was disgusting. Anyway, the part that I remember was that everybody kind of sucked. But there was a little girl that could ride a pony around in a circle. And she rode the pony around in the circle, and at some point she did get up standing on the pony. And the thing was, she was pretty good, but this little girl in front of me from Bloomfield, I don't know who she was, but everything anybody did, she'd say, "Well, I could do that. Well, I could do that." Anyway, I didn't like that little girl very much, but I didn't like the circus very much either. And then the last one I remember was when we were in high school, and they were super trashy. That was a super trashy. I don't even think I went to that circus. And it seems like it might have been around the time of the Tobacco Festival. But I do know that our local party people, like my cousin Ricky and a lot of people I ran around with went up there, because like, oh, they're circus people. We're going to party with them. But the thing that was really funny was that Ricky was partying with one of them, and he went into his trailer with him, and the guy put the moves on him. And Ricky said, oh, no, I ain't like that. He said, oh, come on, I'm not either. I'm bisexual, but, you and me could get it. Hilarity for me. Anyway, my musical part of this, I'm going to try and do this. I was 5th grade, maybe, and one of the guys that worked at the, I don't know if he was the ring, he was one of the people that worked there who was one of the higher up people. He didn't perform, but he was, so when this little girl was going around in a circle on the back of the pony, he was trying to play a really fanciful, bouncy version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And it was supposed to sound like this. I don't know if I can actually mimic how he did it, but this is what I think he was going for. I think he was going for that, but it was really bad, and it was kind of like... It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. He had like what I like to call a lazy pinky, and then he had a lazy ring finger, and he had a lazy bird finger, and a lazy index finger, a lazy thumb, and then that was totally equal by the laziness of this hand. He did not know how to play. He had kind of picked that up probably hanging out, in somebody's chorus class going, listen to me. Listen, I can do this. I can do it. Listen. So that's probably one that he did rather good. Anyway, that was just my little musical memory, and I turn it up a little and try and do a little of that weird little Over the Rainbow thing again. Okay, I meant to play that as bad as I did. I meant to play it that bad with those mistakes so that you could see how bad that guy that played that little melodeon at the circus up on Bloomfield Junior High School's hill that year, he wasn't very good. It was only memorable because it was trashy.